Regret and sacrifice are two concepts that we encounter in our lives quite frequently. They are closely related, but they have very different meanings. Regret is a feeling of disappointment, sorrow, or remorse over something that we did or didn't do. Sacrifice, on the other hand, is the act of giving up something that we value in order to achieve a greater good. In his famous book, 12 Rules for Life: An Antidote to Chaos, renowned psychologist and author Jordan Peterson talks about the importance of making wise choices when it comes to regret and sacrifice. He argues that while both regret and sacrifice can be difficult to deal with, they have much different outcomes and consequences. Regret, according to Peterson, is a negative emotion that can hold us back from achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life. When we experience regret, we are focusing on the past and the things that we cannot change. This can lead to feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and despair. Peterson suggests that we should acknowledge our regrets, learn from them, and then move on. Sacrifice, on the other hand, is a positive and empowering act that can help us achieve our goals and live a meaningful life. When we make sacrifices, we are choosing to give up something that we value in order to achieve something that we value even more. This requires discipline, hard work, and an eagerness to delay gratification. Peterson emphasizes that we must choose our sacrifices wisely. We should not sacrifice something that is important to our well-being, such as our health or our relationships, for the sake of short-term gain. Instead, we should focus on sacrificing things that are not important, such as our time or our comfort, to achieve a long-term goal that is meaningful to us. Jordan Peterson's views on regret and sacrifice have sparked a debate among the public. Some people argue that sacrificing too much can lead to burnout and unhappiness, while others believe that avoiding sacrifice leads to a life of complacency and mediocrity. Many people have shared their personal experiences of sacrifice and regret, with some stating that they regret not taking risks and making sacrifices earlier in life, while others regret taking the wrong path due to their sacrifices. Life is full of choices, and many of these choices involve trade-offs. Sometimes we must choose between what we want in the moment and what we want in the long run. Other times we must choose between two things that we want equally but cannot have both. In such situations, we are faced with a difficult decision. Do we choose to avoid regret or embrace sacrifice? But how do we choose between regret and sacrifice? The answer depends on our values, priorities, and goals. If we value immediate gratification and comfort above all else, we may be more likely to choose options that lead to regret in the long run. If we value long-term success and fulfillment, we may be more willing to make sacrifices in the moment. Well, there are no easy answers or one-size-fits-all solutions. Every situation is unique, and every individual must make their own choices based on their own circumstances. However, there are some general principles that can help us navigate the trade-offs of life more effectively. First, it is important to be clear about our values and goals. When we know what we want and what we stand for, we are better equipped to make choices that align with our values and lead to long-term fulfillment. Second, we should be aware of our biases and tendencies. Many of us are wired to prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term benefits, or to avoid risks at all costs. By recognizing these biases, we can make more conscious and intentional choices. Finally, we should be ready to learn from our mistakes and adjust our course when necessary. Sometimes, even the most well-intentioned decisions can lead to regret or unexpected consequences. When this happens, we should be ready to acknowledge our mistakes, take responsibility for our actions, and make changes to our approach going forward. Regret and sacrifice are two important concepts that we must navigate in our lives. While regret can hold us back, sacrifice can help us move forward. We must choose our sacrifices wisely and avoid sacrificing things that are essential to our well-being. By doing so, we can live a fulfilling life and achieve our goals with purpose and meaning.